Hello again to the 3 people watching my channel. Once again we're playing the original Modern Warfare 2 DLC on real hardware on the 360. We are playing at super low res, we have lag, controller drift, there will be campers and RPGs everywhere, so I'm sure this is gonna be an interesting experience. So we are gonna use the classic AK-47 with FMJ, and for the secondary, the dual model 1887. This is the DLC map Crash, which originally was first released in 2007 with Call of Duty 4. I'm guessing the whole idea of a downed CH-47 helicopter in the Middle East was heavily inspired by the movie Black Hawk Down. But that's irrelevant, we should focus on the game. As you can see, we almost died there. Since the enemy is heavily relying on noob tubes and RPGs, I'm gonna try to play slower and engage them from a safe distance. I'm not sure if it's gonna work, maybe we're gonna die or end up rage quitting. Regardless, the most important thing is that we are still able to play the DLC maps in 2026. I actually recommend to play MW2 only with the DLCs, since that's how you can avoid hackers and modded lobbies altogether. There is a misconception out there that if you have the DLCs installed then you won't be able to find players. That's definitely wrong. You will be able to find players right away. It took me only like 3 seconds to find this lobby, so I wouldn't worry about that. So if you somehow manage to find this video at the bottom of YouTube's algorithm, then take my advice, like seriously, you need to get the DLCs. The vanilla version, at least on the 360, is literally unplayable due to a hack domination lobby. Because apparently some low-life retard decided it's a good idea to ruin this old game by forcing everyone into his stupid lobby. People like this shouldn't be allowed to ever touch a console, but I suppose it is what it is. The only thing we can do is to avoid them, and as for now the only way to avoid them is by playing with both DLCs. As for this match, the beginning doesn't look too promising. As you can see, we are dying left and right. I keep telling myself to use the noob tube every time I join an MW2 lobby, however that means creating a new class, which implies effort. And since I'm quite lazy, I just endure the suffering throughout the match, hoping that the next one will be better. Now of course I'm joking, the noob tube is a fundamental part of these games, both notoriety and success. And I mean, just trying to imagine MW2 without the noob tube or the riot shield, that would be actually insane. That won't be Modern Warfare 2 anymore, it will be just a shell. It's like scrapping its soul. Unfortunately, that's exactly what happened to Modern Warfare 3. They took most of these broken aspects of MW2 and tried to fix them. And as is often the case, fixing them resulted in a worst experience, and that's a shame, since Modern Warfare 3 had one of the best campaigns ever. Unfortunately, the multiplayer was not on the same level, but that's a discussion for another video. I'm actually planning to return to MW3 on the 360 these days and check the situation over there in 2026, so I will definitely try that. I'm guessing it's similar if not better than MW2. For those of you who aren't aware, 2 years ago it was almost impossible to find a lobby for every old Call of Duty game, from COD 4 all the way up to Modern Warfare 3, but I suppose there is a god out there, and through a miracle Microsoft decided to fix the servers last year. And of course since then you're able to find lobbies almost instantly at any time, and if the rumors are true and they will make these old games available on Game Pass eventually, this will revitalize the player base, although this is extremely unlikely, but who knows. And as the time progresses, I'm hoping more and more that eventually this will become a reality, you know. But enough pessimism. From a business perspective, that would make sense for Activision. Remember what happened with Call of Duty Infinity Warfare. That game's trailer ended up being the most hated and disliked video on YouTube, so they released Call of Duty 4 Remastered alongside Infinity Warfare in an attempt to mitigate the losses. Now, since the cringy shit show with Call of Duty Vanguard, Activision did have the opportunity to fix that by releasing Modern Warfare 2 Remastered. Unfortunately, they never did that, or at least not the multiplayer. And since then, every year they're releasing slop after slop, one more cringe than the other. But I guess since they were acquired by Microslop, literally, they must respect the tradition of shooting themselves in the foot over and over again until they will eventually fail as a company. And I mean, like 10 years ago, two things were certain in life: Windows and the Call of Duty yearly releases, and obviously 2009 was the best year in this regard. I mean, we had both Windows 7 and Modern Warfare 2 released in the same year. Now, of course, in terms of the total shitification we are seeing today, Microslop is on a whole other level in terms of slop and depravity with Windows 11, which is matched only by Activision with its latest releases of Call of Duty. So in a way, these companies are matching each other. They were both there at the beginning, and I suppose they're still here together for the end. And I know this is not the fall of Rome or anything like that, so I'm not trying to be dramatic or anything. It's just, witnessing this is quite upsetting. I mean, how it can be, since we grew up with two things which used to be great, and then we ended up in this shithole. But there is light at the end of the tunnel. We can always just go back to the old titles and enjoy them just as we did back in the day. And while they can shut down the servers at any time, they can't stop us from playing this game. On PC at least there are lots of modded clients for Modern Warfare 2 like IW4X or Plutonium. And for the consoles, if you own a 360 you can RGH or JTAG at any time and just play the cracked versions on private servers that way, or you can even do a soft mod with a USB flash drive through a bad update. Maybe I'm gonna make a video about that as well in the future. That would be actually very interesting and in all probability a useful digital doomsday scenario, so I'll try to make a video on that. But anyways, that's pretty much it for the video. This was the original MW2 DLC map Crash on Xbox 360 in 2026. Thank you very much for watching and see you later.